It was supposed to be a fun night out, something light after a tiring week. My girlfriend, Hannah, had been invited to her friend's birthday party, and she wanted me to come along. I wasn't really in the mood for crowds, but she insisted it would be good for us. So, I put on a decent shirt, grabbed the small gift we'd bought together, and went with her, hoping to make her happy. From the start, it was clear Hannah was in her element. She was the kind of person who could walk into any room and make it feel brighter. Everyone seemed to know her. People smiled, hugged her, laughed with her. I mostly stayed close, smiling politely and sipping my drink while she caught up with old friends. An hour into the evening, I began to feel out of place. I didn't know most of the people there, and every time I tried to join a conversation, it shifted before I could add anything meaningful. Hannah was talking with a small group, her laughter echoing through the room, and I stood a few steps behind, wondering if she even noticed. Then, out of nowhere, one of her friends joked about party couples, always holding each other back. Everyone laughed. Hannah smiled and said, a bit too loudly, "Honestly, I wish I came alone tonight. I'd be having more fun." The laughter that followed stung more than anything I'd heard in a long time. I froze. I didn't say a word, just stood there with a polite smile plastered on my face while my chest tightened. I told myself maybe she didn't mean it, maybe it was just a careless joke, but hearing it in front of everyone hurt in a way I couldn't explain. I spent the rest of the night pretending to enjoy myself while a quiet storm built up inside me. When we got home, I didn't speak right away. I started changing into comfortable clothes when she asked lightly, "You were quiet tonight." "Tired." I turned to her and said calmly, "You said you wished you came alone. Was that supposed to be funny?" Her expression shifted instantly, the color drained from her face. "Oh, that," she said slowly. "I didn't mean it like it sounded. I was just joking because everyone was teasing." I nodded, still calm but deeply hurt. "It didn't feel like a joke," I replied. "It felt like you wanted to be anywhere but near me." She frowned, moving closer. "No, it's not like that. You're reading too much into it." But I wasn't. I could still hear her voice in my head, light, playful, but honest in its tone. I sighed and said, "You know, I didn't expect you to hold my hand all night. But hearing you say that in front of everyone, it made me feel like I didn't belong with you at all." She sat down, silent for a moment, and then finally whispered, "I'm sorry. I didn't realize it came out that way." We sat in that quiet for a long time. She eventually said, "Sometimes I make jokes when I feel nervous or when people are teasing me. I don't think before I speak. But I never meant to make you feel like that." I believed her, at least partly. I knew she wasn't cruel, just careless with her words sometimes. Over the next few days, things felt a little distant between us. Not angry, just careful. Then, one evening, she came to me holding a small note. "I've been thinking," she said. "You were right to call me out. I shouldn't make fun of someone I care about just to fit in with others. I guess I was trying too hard to seem fun." I took the note and read it. It simply said, "You make my quiet moments better than any party ever could." It wasn't dramatic, but it meant something real. We talked more honestly after that, not about parties or crowds, but about how we both felt when we were out together. She told me she sometimes worried I seemed bored, and I told her I sometimes felt invisible. We both learned something about each other that night, not from laughter, but from silence. Months later, we went to another gathering, smaller, calmer, and somehow warmer. This time, Hannah made a point to introduce me properly, to include me in conversations instead of drifting off. And I, instead of standing at the edge, tried to step forward, share a few stories, and be part of her world. It wasn't forced. It just felt better. Looking back, I realized that moment at the party wasn't the end of anything. It was the start of understanding. Sometimes, relationships don't grow in comfort. They grow in discomfort, in the moments when you realize how fragile words can be. What matters is what you do after those moments, whether you pull away or lean in to rebuild. Now, whenever we go out, she always asks, "You good?" And I always say, "As long as you're here." And every time, she smiles like she remembers the night she almost made me feel like I wasn't enough, and how she never wanted that to happen again.